Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to invite you all on the journey. As we embark on this journey, I would love to pick your brain just a little. If you had the opportunity, what would you say to the younger version of you? As you ponder on that, let's take a look at what a special someone had to say when I asked her the same question. I'm Jay Danae, and this is Looking Back.
I'm Charisse and I'm 21 years old. If I could use 3 words to describe myself at 17, it would be hurt. I think I was very angry, so angered. And I don't know, lost. So I had just lost my dad that at the end of July. So that gave me a month to get it together to go back to school. So when I walked in school, I'm just like, I don't want to be here. It's nothing for me here. Whatever I was doing this for, I have no purpose here. Like, like my dad had just passed and it wasn't unexpected, but I just wasn't ready. And so when it just happened, I'm just sitting in school like, well, this is it. This is it. I don't have nothing else to do. Like, everybody was trying to, like, hey, I heard what happened, and, I'm here for you. I'm like, thanks. Well, the main way I was coping at that time was through being sexually active. And it was happening fast. It wasn't like, really like, okay, 1, okay, 2. No, it was like, okay, talk to 1. That's what we did. Then they rubbed me the wrong way, over with. Then went to the next one. And I just found myself like in a span of it really happened once school started, because before then I was just like to myself or whatever. But once September came, it went on for 2 months. Like 2, 3, 4 months. So all of September, all of October, and almost all of November, and then something was just like, what are you doing? And when I feel like that was like the Holy Spirit, like, what are you doing? And I just sat there and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I just broke down, like, you can't keep doing this. And it stopped instantly. There was no one, I don't want to say no one, I wasn't really talking to my mom. Like, I was, but I wasn't. Like, just to talk to her, just to have like that comfort. But as far as really talking, like, I can't believe he's gone, and I have no other way to let out how I feel, because I'm not one to sit there and be like, God, why did you? Because before I could even get why did you, be like, why not? Or, well, you'll see soon. Like, it'll just shut me up. So I don't really remember talking to too many people about what I was going through at the time. I was trying to get through. I managed to get a job, because I had to get a job for my senior year for my class for a grade. So that was all I did. I was at work. I don't remember talking so much to anybody. Like, I'd be at school. Then when it was time for me to go, I was gone. Went to work, went home, and repeated. That whole year, that whole senior year, I don't remember talking too much to anybody. And sometimes I just, like, I guess, like, when it hit me or whatever, I'll be by myself. And then I'll just cry. And, yeah, I don't really remember talking to anybody for real. I'd say not too close to when he passed. I'd say maybe about 6 months or so before he passed. I was just mad that my mother and I wasn't getting along. And I was just like, it's like, that sounds like, almost sounding like an older person. Like, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Like, I knew he was sick. And I'm like, okay, and we all are pretty much dealing with it. But I didn't want to talk to her, and I told my dad that I'm like, I have nothing to say. I'm like, the way everything stuff happened with me and her, at the time I was just like, I literally told my dad, I said, if you pass, I'm not talking to nobody. Like, if she wants something out of me, she gonna have to beat it out of me, because I'm not gonna say nothing. I have nothing to say. And he told me, we was sitting in the car. I'll never forget this night. I think I was coming in from either work or cheerleading practice, and we was talking about it. He stopped and he looked at me. He said, well, he stopped and he was like, Charisse, you are gonna have to fix it. And I'm like, why do I have to fix it when I'm not the one that broke it? I'm not the one that messed it up. He said, Charisse, you are gonna have to fix it because you're gonna need her. And I said, all right, Daddy, yeah, okay. Like, I'm not worried about having her right now because I got you. And he stopped and he turned and looked looked me in my eyes and was like, you're gonna need her. And I looked at him and I said, I'm like, all right. And at that night, I went home and I literally prayed. I said, God, you're gonna have to grant me the opportunity and the words, because if I just walk in here and try to do it, it's not gonna be done the way I know it needs to be done, because it's gonna be more of me and less of you coming through to actually resolve a situation. And I said maybe about a month later, the opportunity presented itself, and I didn't realize it was that moment until my prayer came back to me, and I was on the phone. I was like, you know what? Let me call you back, and just able to get everything off my chest. The conversation I had with my mom to mend the relationship, it was full of a lot of hurt. Oh my gosh. It was so quiet, and all I heard was my voice. Just so angry. Just telling her how I was feeling, like how everything happened, and even before all of that, like how I felt like she was treating me compared to how she treated my brother. And I'm just like, just so angry. And she tried it was points in the conversation where I feel like she didn't want to hear it, one, because it's like sometimes you don't really want to hear how you've been interacting with someone, especially it being your child. And so some points where it's like, I know she wanted me to stop, and I was just like, I can't, because if you stop me now, you will not hear my voice again. Like, I'm not gonna stay here. And it was full of a lot of me yelling, pushing past, and just letting it all out, saying everything, like going back to everything. I mean, how everything happened to afterwards and stuff like that. Like, it was a lot. And when I finally finished, she was in tears. I was already crying, but I was like, it was more angry. And then when I finished, I was just like, okay, you said literally something. My mom was like, you said everything. And she was in tears, and she apologized. Hearing her apologize, I just remember just looking at her. Like, that time in my life, I just felt like it was getting darker and darker. Like, she said, she apologized and everything. And at that point, I was just more like, I just need to see that you're sorry. Actions are always louder than words. And my only hope was like that her actions followed her words. Because I didn't want to have a broken relationship with my mom. One, because I'm just like her. And I'm like, if I'm going through something, I know she gonna have some type of solution to my problem, because she's either been through it specifically or something like it. So it's like, I'm like, I don't want that, because I wouldn't if I think about me having kids and I have a daughter, I wouldn't want her to be scared to come to me because she's just like me. Because she thinks I won't listen. So, I mean, yeah, but since then, it's so much better. It really is. Before he passed, I was sitting in my room and it hit me like it does almost anybody I know that's sick. It was just like, it's not gonna make it. And I got up and I went in my mama's room and I looked at her and I said, Mama, he's not gonna make it, is he? And she didn't say nothing because she already knew. He had told us that he was in stage 2 of lung cancer, but because he was still on her like health insurance, she got all the papers, and she knew he was actually in stage 4 when he told us. He's like, don't worry, you know I'm in stage 2. I caught it early. And even when he told us, I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind was like, this sounds rehearsed. But I was like, nah, you know, let me not. But it was really rehearsed. Like he did that well, because it was no like. After he said that, I was like, okay. But it was that moment, and she just hugged me, and she said it's gonna be okay. Yep. What was supposed to happen? The way, let's say, just with me being in college right now, I feel like my dad would agree that he's been able to provide more for us in the spiritual than he probably would have been able to provide for us in the natural. Like, as far as school, like, as much money as I know I would have had to try to scrape up and come up with, I have not had to do that because of how he left, and then everything he got together for us before he left. Like, I don't have to worry about school, for real. Only thing I gotta worry about is just making sure I keep everything saved up, and when stuff come up, I have it to pay for it. But I learned that it was supposed to happen, because I feel like if it didn't happen, I really think my mom and I would still be somewhat at some type of odd, because that's just how it was at the time. I wouldn't have felt no need to rekindle or fix anything. I'm like, my dad's here, so I'll talk to him. Like, I felt like I probably would have moved out. We would still be at odds. Like, yeah, I feel like it was supposed to happen, because after he passed, so much has happened in the last 4 years where, say, my mom needed me, or I needed her. And it's like, if he was still here, and even if she was going through stuff like that still, I feel like she would have been by herself. It would have just been her and Edward. I would have been like, well, she'll get together. Yeah. I've matured a lot, spiritually and mentally. Definitely, definitely spiritually and mentally. Because, you know, it's a lot of things that my mom had to do and everything that I understand more now, because some of the stuff I have to do for myself, or just really taking the time out to like watch her, like, okay, she's doing a lot right now, and she's been doing a lot. And I feel like if I was still like covered in anger, I'd be like, well, she's juggling everything else, she might as well juggle something else. Like, I really feel like, and this is speaking from 17-year-old. She was like, me now, I would be ready to choke 17-year-old. She was like, if you don't get yourself together and help her, like right now, I would be like, Charisse, okay, okay. Like, I had to tell myself, like, okay, I know, but you can't. You know you can't. And I would literally probably be sitting there arguing with myself. So, senior year of high school, like, I wasn't even supposed to finish. I walked in there like, I don't want to be here. And I'm not going to stay too much longer. Finish that. Here I am, going into my senior year of college. This wasn't even, I'm about to cry thinking about just my accomplishments. Like, as many things I've been through in the last 4 years and have still managed to make it to yet almost another end of a piece of my journey. That's amazing, honestly. That's honestly amazing. I truly am proud of myself. I never even take time to look back at myself like, hey, look at that. Man, I never took time to look back at myself like, okay, this is where you were, right? Now this is where you are. Like, this is where you are. Like, you see the like, it's a huge difference. It's a confidence difference. It's like how I do things. Everything is different, and it's a good different. You know, a lot of things I don't take for granted no more. So a lot of stuff I didn't take for granted, but even those little things I used to, it's like, nah, like, you have it, so take good care of it. Like, man, I'm definitely proud of myself. I've done a lot, and I know I still have so much more to do before I graduate. Then even after that, but if I'm just thinking of short term, I know I'm not finished. If I can use 3 words to describe myself now, I would say that I am excited, I'm determined, but very anxious for the good stuff.